Hey guys, hope you're having a great Thanksgiving for everybody. So I'm gonna be talking about something that I got into, which is a new card game, which is called Keyforge. Now, I was yesterday was at the 21st was my birthday, so I went to my locals, and then they got this box of new card game called Keyforge, and basically the game is that you buy a deck. That's the deck that you stay with it. You don't have to change anything or whatever. It has to be that deck. And to show you what it looks like, this is how the box is. It contains a total of 37 cards, and it's your own unique deck. This deck is random. It can give you as many copies of a card which it contains or whatever it is. 37 cards, and it's a really fun game, and I've been getting addicted to it, and it's very dirt cheap. I spent like what $11 into this. Remember, other places are different, and this is great. So I did buy 3 because they're all unique decks. So I'm gonna be showing you one of my the ones that I bought. This one is the second one that I bought. So what are this? Okay, so if you see, this is a an anchor. Now an anchor is your guild master or whatever it is. I'm still new to the game, but I know is that when you get a deck, it will bring you 3 houses. What are these 3 houses? Well, there's 7 houses in total, which is Shadow, Sanctum, Untamed, Mars, this, and the last one is really hard to pronounce. It's Bahuma, something like that, but basically they're Vikings. They're basically Vikings. So you can see here, these are the houses that you're representing in your deck. And this right here is the guild master of your anchor, which is Nala Tattooed Arena Guildmaster. Now this is the card. Now this card has in the back the list of every card of your deck. Granted, if you do, one thing that you need to know about this, if there is a card that's not from this deck, you will automatically lose and be disqualified. If you don't have any of this, I already did my QR code. I already redeemed this QR code, so do not try to redeem it. I already redeemed it, so sorry. So it will tell you what cards are in of which houses are in. Remember, this is all random. These are all unique decks. 37 cards, and it's these are standard card size, Dragon Ball, Magic the Gathering, or whatever. So what's the point of this game? So the point of this game is that you will be battling another player, and your task is to gain keys. Keys. What are keys? Okay, so you get these, which are these little gems on here on the cards. When you cast them or activate them or use their effects, you get these gems. And every time you get a gem, until you get 6, on your next turn you make a key. The purpose, try not to make your opponent to get a key, and your opponent will try to do the same to not make you gain a key. And this game is a very long game, but it's fun because it goes back and forth, because this game is there's no ban list, there's nothing like that. It's all plain side. Just buy a deck, both of you fight to the death until you get all three keys. The total amount of gems that you have to get to win the game is a total of 18 gems, so you can win the entire game. Because it's 3 keys, you gain that amount of 6 for a key. You forge in your next turn, and that's how you do it until you get 3 keys. Now, what are we trying? So what are we gonna be showing? So the cards. So we have here is one of them of the houses, which is Sanctum. Sanctum is basically knights, stuff, holy magic, and all that stuff. So here's one of the cards. This is one of the action cards. This right here on the top is the gem. When you cast it, you get the gem. Now it reads, when you play the card, destroy each of your artifacts and gain 2 gems for each artifact you destroy. Now, right now I'm still new to the game. I don't know the limit of the field, but obviously it depends on how it is. So basically what it's saying is that for every artifact that I use, I get a gem. Each one. But yeah. So this is an action, so it goes to your discard. Instead of like a graveyard, it's like a graveyard or whatever. And yeah. So let's check out a creature. Now this is one of the creatures of Shadow. Now to play when you're playing, I'm still new at this, so with this game, I'll be telling you. When you're playing the game, you have to tell what house are you playing in your turn. When you play a house, you can summon every creature from that house from your hand multiple times. There is no stopping you of how many creatures you have to play, but you have to play that house. When you play a creature, they go like this. They go summon like this. Like when you tap something in Magic, or when you want to attack in Dragon Ball, they go like this. When you finish your turn, they go active. Now it has this guy, old Bruno, has an ability called elusive. Elusive means that the first time this creature attacks, doesn't get any damage. When the card is played, you capture 3 gems. What does that mean? Well, you're trying to stall for your opponent to not get those gems to make a keep. So capture means that you're taking away those gems. No, you do not get the gems. You're stalling them so he does not get them. And this right here is how much life it has. And this is the shield, the armor, or whatever you want to call it. Basically is how Hearthstone has, when a creature attacks, it loses the health, but in the next at the end phase it goes back to his original health. Not in this game. When the creature loses health, it stays like that. So if I attack for 3 damage and that creature has 2 damage, 2 life, you take 2 damage, and it stays to 1. So meaning that in his turn he can kill it easily or whatever, just like that. What else? So you cannot play other cards from another house if you said that house. So if I said Shadow, this is Shadow, you cannot play anything that is not Shadow. You can only play Shadow cards. And your next turn, if you want to say another house, which is, let's say Sanctum, you can play cards of Sanctum. But you cannot use those cards that are in the field that are Shadow to use them. It is complicated like that for the beginning, but it actually makes sense because you're giving each house a chance. And yes, you can call out the same house again again when it's your turn again. So let's check out an artifact. So this is an artifact right here. This is the Mighty Javelin. So it's an artifact. Now artifacts, when they enter, they go like this, tapped, and then when it's your opponent's turn, they go active. Anytime your opponent's anytime you place a card, when it's your opponent's turn, they go active, and then in your turn, you can use them. Now it has the 1 gem, means that you gain 1 when you activate this card. And it has Omni. Now, what does Omni mean? Omni means that you can sacrifice the artifact and can do an ability. Now, this one for Javelin, when it's sacrificed, you deal 4 damage to a creature. Granted, this does not have any targeting in the game, meaning that if there is a card that says target any number of creatures that are undamaged, that includes yourself. Let's see. Here's another one of the Shadow cards, which is to show you different abilities. This one has skirmish. When this creature flies, it doesn't deal damage to in return. Meaning when he attacks, he doesn't get damaged. Now it has fight. Fight means that it could steal a gem. Now what does this mean? When you steal a gem, you're taking a gem from your opponent and you're getting it to yourself. Not like capture. Capture is that you're stalling so your opponent does not get the gems. Meaning that you can steal as many gems as you possibly can, or whatever, depending on what are the effects of the steal. That's it's pretty fun to the game. And also you can only attack once for each creature. What else? Let me check here. I'm trying to find the card here. Yeah, here it is. Now this is one of the cards that I was gonna show you, which is the Coward's End. Now it says here, play, destroy each undamaged creature, gain 3 chain. Now what? Okay, first of all, creatures, meaning that all the creatures that are undamaged, even yours included, are destroyed. That's how it is. So if you don't have any creatures and your opponent has the creatures, destroy them. And you gain 3 chain. Now what are chains? Now chain is when you use these cards that have very powerful effects, you get a chain. Now depending on how many chains you get, that's the minimum of cards that you will get. Now if you reach the, I think I remember was 5 of chain, you can draw 1 to 5 chains. You have to draw -1 card. Depending on how many chains you gain, you least draw more cards. Something like that. Yeah. What else? I'm trying to tell you the mechanics of this because it's a very weird game, but I love it, and I'm trying to show you something really new. Now, so how many cards do you start with the game? Well, obviously you start with, not like in Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or stuff like that. You draw 6 cards. Your 6 cards. Now, and whoever wins the dice roll will tell you who is going first, meaning that if the person that goes first can draw an additional card, but they cannot draw anymore. Wait, what? How is this? Because the amount of cards that you use, besides the additional 7 cards that you draw, that's how many cards that you will draw. So, if I use, let's say, 3 cards in my turn, I have 4 cards. When I finish my turn, I draw the amount of how many cards that I use of that turn, except the additional one when you started the first turn. So 2 cards, and that continues how it is. If I used as many of cards of that of my turn, that's the amount I will get when I draw. When you finish your turn. And what else was I gonna say? Like I said, in the chain, if you get the minimum of the chains of what it says, you draw less cards. So if I have 5 chain, meaning that I will draw, if I use like 2 cards and I have a chain of -1, I will be only drawing 1 card. So the point of the game is to gain these keys. These all of you have different creatures, you have different actions, and many artifacts, and they have different unique skills, and the decks are all unique in their own way. There are some effects that are just crazy, some creatures that are super strong, like right now, let's see, there's one here, right here, this is called the Harden of They Come. This is an action card. Now it says here, play, purge a creature with power of 5 or higher. Purging is basically banishing. So that's how it is. You banish that creature and that's it. And here, one thing, how do I get more gems if I have to use those stones? Well, you have to like tap them, those creatures again. So it's my turn, and this creature's let's see, I have 3 creatures on the field, and I said Sanctum. So I can only use my creatures of Sanctum, not my other creatures, to do things. So what do I do? So this guy right here, I'm gonna do is re-up, meaning that you tap him so you can gain a gem. When this guy goes re-up, you capture a gem from your opponent, meaning that you're stalling plus you're getting gems. Your opponent will try to steal your gems or capture your gems. Depending on which deck or which houses does he have, it's all random. That's how it is. And you gain, also there are some cards here. Hold up, let me find it if I can find it. Yeah. These are the upgrade cards. Now, basically, they're boosts for your creatures. Boosts can be used for any of your creatures depending on what are you using of the house. Yes, you can use this to boost, and this creature gets 5 plus power, meaning that you can boost it at the same house or any other different houses depending on which one you want to use. But in the next turn, you have to tell that creature of that house so you can use him. And that's pretty much it for what I think I've learned about the rules. That's pretty much what I think, because I've been playing it since like yeah, until my birthday, so I'm still new at this. They're all unique, and I love New York. It reminds me of Hearthstone and World of Warcraft to get Hearthstone and any other, like, very cartoony fantasy. And one thing I did like is that I did get the guy from the cover. I'm actually happy with that guy. He's a Viking like guy. That's pretty cool. So yeah, all these are unique decks, and they're all 37s. You cannot modify them. You can't do anything. They have to be exactly the way that they are. So that's pretty much this was the second deck that I bought. The first one was this one, which was, I think this was the one that my friends wanted. Also, yeah, you can trade the decks for other decks that your people will like, but you cannot trade the cards. You have to trade the entire deck for another deck. That's how I'm learning. They told my friend, the card shop. So right now, this is my first deck that I bought, which is the card that loudly unmasks the protection. That's the Yanker. And you can see these are different. They're different houses. Like this one has okay, actually. This one has Sanctum, Shadow, and Brabarn. I really don't know how to say that, but I'm gonna say they're giant Vikings. That's all I'm gonna say. And this one has a different house. This is this. Now this are basically like the underworld, but with machines. And Shadow is basically assassination, poisons, and all that stuff. The other ones like Mars, which are like they're aliens. Basically, they're aliens. They even said in the name Mars is aliens. They do weird stuff, but they're really cool. I wish I can get a deck. I'm trying to get a deck of each house, but right now I only have a total of, I gotta say, like 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. I have only 4 houses, and I'm missing like 3 more houses. Yeah, 3 more houses. I'm missing 3 more houses, which is Logos, Untamed, and Mars, which are the only 3 houses that I'm missing. So this was my first deck, and I gotta say this was really weird, but it was so much fun. So obviously you have your list of cards. Remember what I said? This has to be what it is. I already scanned the card, so no QA code for you guys. So they're different cards. Depending on how you buy it, it can give you many different versions of this, many copies of that card. Like and this is like right now, I think there was one here that my friends were like crazy. Yeah, this one, Speed Signal. The first creature played each turn gets ready. Now this is a broken card right now, but it's broken, but not actually that broken, because there are cards that can destroy artifacts like Oath of Profanity. So it says here the first creature that enters, it's getting ready, which is pretty cool. And one card that my friends actually didn't like me playing was this, which was the Ember Imp. Now it reads your opponent cannot play more than 2 cards each turn, meaning that he can only play 2 cards at a turn, so he can do a lot of spamming in the board. And this is an artifact which it's really good. It's called the Lash of the Broken The Lash of the Broken Dreams. Now it reads, when you tap this at your opponent's turn, keys cost 3 more gems during your opponent's turn. So your opponent, if he gains 6 gems, you activate this, he has to gain 3 more gems so he can make a key. So you continue to use this until he makes the keys, until you can try to steal them or capture them, so that he can make more keys. But yeah, I was happy with this deck, my first deck, and I did really good with it. I love this. I really like this game. It's really fun. And the main one, and this is my third one, which you can see with sleeve, meaning that I'm using it, meaning that I love it. It's this one, the Amethyst Sentinel of the King Hill. They're all different artworks. There's a lot of different designs of this, which I like. They're always gonna be these colors, you know, red, blue. It could be red, blue, green, yellow. I don't know which other colors there are, but they're different designs of the anchors or the guild masters, whichever. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, I really do like this. So obviously that's the name of the anchor, and this is the deck list. Obviously, I already scanned it, so no QR. So yeah, I really like this deck because this is more of the more of the sanctum than anything. So basically, you're doing healing plus damage at the same time. You have more of the Vikings and more of the sanctum. In my opinion, these two are really strong because it's healing and destruction. Now, I got back again, Headhunter, and he's a giant beast. This one's really good because it says your opponent loses a gem when it's played. Now this is a really cool artifact. It says here, return an artifact to its owner's hand. Now you can use this to against your opponent just to return an artifact, and you can reuse the artifact as much as you want. They're not like action cards that you can use them once and that's it. I wish I had more copies of that, but obviously you can't have more copies in the deck because it has to be in the deck list. Umbra, Crump. This card is really good because it says return 2 enemy creatures to their owner's hand, which is stupid. This is a stupid card and really good. Doorstep to Heaven. Now this one is really stupid. Like, look at this. Each player with 6 or more are reduced to 5. So if your opponent has more gems, you reduce them back to 5. Well, no, this is a really good one. This is basically a bodyguard. It says here, each of Bullwalker's neighbors get 2 of armor. This is the armor. Now, what is neighbor? So basically, the 2 cards that are on the sides of him are his neighbors. It doesn't continue with the other cards, just the first 2. Yeah, this is really good. And this is a really good card. Ready and use a friendly creature. Now, this is a really good card. This is really good because you can easily use the giant, the Vikings really fast, or any of your sanctum. You can use them for your sanctums. Another. This is an upgrade. This creature gains Reap, which deals 4 damage to a flank creature. Now, a flank creature, I don't know what it is. Remember, I'm still learning the different types of creatures and all that stuff, but I still like it. This is a really good one. So, it says here before the fight. Before the fight meaning that before he fights, deal 1 damage to each creature, meaning also yours. So yeah, I really do enjoy it. And this is a really good one as well. This action says actions are when you just play them overall. This one says stun a creature. Obviously, it stunned the creature. Your opponent has to unstun him. And how does he do that? Unstunning meaning that he has to reactivate that card from that same house. He has to say that same house so he can unstun him. That's what I've been trying to. And the action is going to return Lady Maximus to its owner's hand, which is good to reuse him again. Yeah. Oh yeah, and this is a pretty cool, funny one. Oh, this one's stupid. Look at this. I want to show you this one. Just this one. This is an action card. This is a vanilla text. Gives you 3 gems. So basically, you use this, you get 3 free gems. Like that. So if you got 3 gems that you collected, use 3 more gems, then yeah. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little idea, you know, this new card game that I bought. I really am enjoying this, and I hope you can support this card game. This is still brand new. Remember, all these decks are random. You cannot modify them at any cost, whatever. You just buy the deck and play it. That's how much fun I'm having with this deck. There is no meta, there is no ban list, there's no stupidity, there's no FTKs, there's no nothing. It's just fair game. And I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, yeah, and I'll see you guys later.